Okay. Good evening, good afternoon from everywhere you're joining us from. It's exactly 4 o'clock p.m. West African time. So we will just move on to the reason why we are here. So we understand this hackathon is for understanding how to use geospatial and mobility data to build health solutions for Africa. We've had series of learning classes, people have joined in, they've learned a lot. We've partnered with Africa Geoportal to use the platform for our learnings. And I'm very sure we've learned a lot. So today, we will be taking all your questions about the hackathon. We will give you all the tips and all the tricks to successfully build a winning solution. Okay. So this session is officially the flag off for the hackathon proper. We've been learning. So now it's time for us to start building our solution, start putting our thoughts together, ideate, and build our solution. Just so you all know again, we have participants joining from Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, and South Africa. These are the countries of interest for this hackathon. So you will agree with me again that it's a packed house. We have people from different backgrounds joining us this evening. So the takeout from this session is to answer all the whys and hows and also have the tips to build winning solution. We have a fantastic speaker who will be speaking to us on that. So I hope you are as excited as I am to learn all about that today. So the flow of events will be, we'll have an introduction of DSN, all that we do at DSN, Data Scientist Network. And then we'll move on to our speaker session where he will tell us all the hackathon best practices. That will be followed up with an explanation or a reiteration of all the hackathon rules and guidelines, all you need, or where you can get all the support that you need. And then we will take your questions. So that will be followed by a question and answer session. Take all your questions, then we conclude. So you'll be sure need to stick around till the end of the event to get all the juicy information firsthand. So without further ado, I'll invite my colleague to give us a brief introduction of DSN. My colleague, Babajide Toby.
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. Just help me confirm you can see and hear me clearly.
Yes, we can see you and we can hear you.
Awesome. It's so nice to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Next slide. So over the next couple of minutes, I'll be introducing you to who we are, what we do here at DSN, why we're really positioned to help you in this hackathon, why we're here developing these kinds of solutions for real use cases, and so on and so forth. So if you knew DSN before now, you heard Data Science Nigeria, sometimes you're hearing Data Scientist Network. All in all, we are an institution that is committed to raising 1 million AI talents in 10 years. If you knew us before now, that was everything that we said. Oh, raising 1 million AI talents in 10 years. But now we have a larger mandate. Beyond just raising 1 million AI talents in 10 years, we want those talents that we raise to build AI solutions that improve the quality of life and well-being of 2 billion people in emerging markets. And no matter how you look at it, 2 billion is a really large number. And how do we really want to achieve this? How do we want to get to 2 billion? And it's very straightforward. We're going to be using or leveraging, as the case may be, our community for learning and research. So where people like you come in, you want to do papers and so on and so forth, we leverage our community for learning and research. And we're going to be doing product development for social impact and partnership for solution delivery. You understand? I know that it sounds like a lot, but then it's really straightforward. So who are we? What do we want to do? Raise 1 million AI talents in 10 years. How do we want to do it? Community products and partnerships. Next slide, please. And all these things that we want to do, like I mentioned, they are geared towards real social impact. We're gearing it. It's not as if we just come up with these solutions, because at the end of it, we need these solutions to be sustainable. That's why all of them are in line with the Sustainable Development Goals from the no poverty to partnerships for the goal. That's really how we're going to do it. And now we've come this far. What gives us the audacity? What gives us the authority? It's a question that comes up. Oh, why do you think you're best positioned? Why do you think you're the one that is in line to do this? So I'd be speaking to some of our achievements, our recognitions, our awards, just a couple of minutes. Now, when it comes to learning and research, DSN has recently been mentioned over 10,000 times on www.academia.eu. This is a learning and research platform. These are people that say that, oh, DSN, they are the ones that have done this. We're citing these people. So I feel like this is a nice time to put your hands together for DSN, celebrate us. Because now this concerns everybody, from our communities to the people developing our solutions. So please put your hands together for everyone, for what we're doing here at DSN. Put your best emoji. Oh, why do you really think that DSN is doing this so awesomely? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, beyond research papers, we're actually developing real products that help people. And DSN has recently won a position, or two positions actually, in the top 100 AI products. And this was given by IRC AI, which is the International Research Institute for Learning and Development under the auspices of UNESCO. And the two products that were given were the EdTech Adaptive Learning Engine and Prescribe Right. I believe my colleagues would be dropping some links in the chat. I'm sure you can also see the links here as well. If you want to read more on really how these impact you as an individual, how these could impact the flow of work, how things are done. Next slide, please. Yes, so like I mentioned, Global Top 100 AI products, DSN was a part of that amazing list. Now, DSN has also been recognized as one of the top AI startup catalyst platforms in Africa. So you have a startup, you have an idea, you want to incubate your startup, you have a solution that you've developed. DSN is one of those places because we're partnering across the AI vertical. So from the teacher that is delivering mathematics classes in STEM, to huge companies like NVIDIA that develop GPU solutions. These are the people that we're partnering with to deliver this. Next slide, please. MIT actually recognized our work when it comes to generating open data. It's one of those things that we do here at DSN. Because we're trying to make everything accessible, we're trying to make everybody understand the realities of things here. This part of the world, we generate open data, and I'm sure like there are also some more links that my colleagues will be dropping in the chat if you want to access these things. And towards the end of the session, you have a lot of time to review these things. You want to ask some questions. I'm sure we'd be able to take some questions. We were also recognized in the UNESCO Science Report in 2020 as one of those people that are driving learning. These are the people that are driving impact in the data science and AI fields. Now, the German Institute of Labor Economics also recognized DSN as the #2 center in Africa. That's #2. So any universities you can think of come after DSN. So now the only university that actually the only institution that came before DSN was AIMS. And they're actually one of our very strong partners. So the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, when it comes to data science, they are saying that, oh, these are the people that you go to. You want to get the real data, you want to get the real knowledge, the real insights. So this is another good place to put your hands together for what we're doing here at DSN. Edu AI Hub is also one of the people that we've worked with, where they've mentioned us and they said that, do you know what? Data Science Nigeria, something that we did in partnership with the University of Lagos, they've delivered solutions. That's it, funded by the Canadian International Development Research Center. They said that what we've done in partnership with the University of Lagos serves as a center of excellence. You're the metric. That's it. We're the yardstick, and that's what we do here at DSN. We're one of the people that set excellence as a priority. Now, you've seen what we've done in research and product. Now, what have we done in community? DSN was actually recognized as the largest learning network, or the most impactful learning network, and when we're given the Wagari Maathai Impact Award in 2019 at the Deep Learning in Daba conference. So the Deep Learning in Daba conference is one of the largest gatherings of machine learning, AI, data science enthusiasts, anybody that wants to know anything about data science cross-continentally. That's where we go to meet to decide the next steps. DSN also won the best academic poster at the 21st edition of the GECE conference, which is the Global Economic and Computation Conference. This is, no, please, the previous slide. So this was actually ahead of academic institutions, even though DSN is not an academic entity, ahead of academic institutions like even Harvard. These are places that they said that, do you know what, you have come up with the best poster, like ahead of brand organizations. Please, next slide, please. Where they recognize DSN's work. DSN also came as the only African finalist at the X Prize competition in 2021. So we were tasked to build an algorithm, a real solution for managing pandemics. So we wanted to create a pandemic response, so things like COVID don't happen again. And we actually were the only African finalists from over 10,000 people. Thank you so much. I'm seeing the comments. Please put your hands together for DSN. Next slide, please. Now, DSN's work has also been presented at the foremost global scientific and practitioner AI conferences. Now, this is our founder. I don't know if you can see clearly, but at the top left, this is our founder, Dr. Olubayo Adekombi, giving a keynote speech at AAAI. This is the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. Now, this is a global institution where the NVIDIAs, the Googles, the Microsoft, everybody comes together to say, these are the things that we should be focusing on in the next coming years, in the next decade, in the next century. Some of our leading research papers are below. Like I mentioned before, if you want to access our open data, these things that are publicly available, you want to see what we've really done, I'm sure our colleagues are also dropping some links in the chat. We've presented our academic and research works at the highest level, highest global artificial intelligence conferences based on rigorous peer-reviewed selection processes. So it's not because we're friends with them, it's not because we know them, it's because we've done the work and it's transparent all through. We've been strategic partners as well to some of the world's leading academic and social good AI groups. Now, these are people that say that, you know what, when it comes to AI, we want to make it accessible. We want to make it in such a way that anybody understands the benefits that they can generate from using AI, from using data science. And we've come together because the real goal is social impact. We need this, our reality, to change. We want people to implement data science in their day-to-day activity. So we partner with these people to develop solutions, develop initiatives that would actually give us the desired result that we want. Now, DSN has also fostered business partnerships with global industry leaders. I'm sure you see some of these logos and you know them. You know the Masterclass Foundation, KPMG, you know Chevron, Access, AI Commons, Vodafone Africa. These are all people that said, we love what you're doing. Come, let's do something together. Let's power this initiative and let's create the impact that we both desire. Next slide, please. Now, our global footprint. DSN has recently expanded from just Nigeria. So now, you know, before you were hearing data science Nigeria, but now we're data scientist network because that's what we're touching it everywhere. So DSN is no longer only in Nigeria. We're in places like UK, Algeria, Kenya, Ethiopia. Like we're going all across, right? Global brand. So if DSN is not next to you, please indicate you want to be the one that starts the DSN in your own community. Come, please, let's do some amazing work together. Just send an email. I'm sure the community members, they know the process. So join the community and let's see what we can really do together. Let's put together that desired impact that we want. Now, our campus communities across Nigeria, we have over 60 campus communities here in Nigeria where we know that, oh, you're in a campus. The way we're going to interact with you is completely different from how we're going to interact with a citizen, someone in a town. Because you're in a campus, you're in a different learning community, it's a different kind of structure. We can't just schedule meetings, they need to work with your classes. So we have communities with campus ambassadors. These are people that are going to be spearheading those relationships that we have with you in the campus. Those are our representatives there that, you know what, we've done this, come, let's come together as a unit, let's put together a class, let's see what we can do, let's create some impact here in the campus. I'm sure you can also see the pictures of what we're doing. This is actually some pictures from the AI Bootcamp 2020 or 2020. I think this is 2019, and some other classes that we run where we deliver completely free, all access passes to learning content. So you're coming, we're bringing in the best of the best professionals from all around the world, people that are leading institutions like NVIDIA and Big ML, Google, Microsoft to come and teach you about what you should know when you're coming into industry. Like I mentioned, we have different ways we target different communities, and we have a very special community for our ladies. It's called the DSN Ladies in AI. So if you're a lady in this chat, I hope you're a part of this group where we have networking, mentorship, one-on-one mentorship. Not that, oh, you have one person targeting over 1,000 people, so there's no form for you to interact. No. One-on-one mentorship platform where you can interact directly with someone that is leading the industry. So these are not just people that don't know what they are doing, or they just said that, oh, let me be a mentor. These are people that have actual hands-on experience. They can guide your career path. They can guide what you're really learning. Now, we also have an AI Plus Club for schools, where after school activities, how oh, someone is asking, how do I join the ladies in AI? Please, I hope my colleagues are dropping the links in the chat. I'm sure you can easily join those communities. You just say that, oh, this is where I really want to be. These are the things I want to do. And you are aligned and we make some progress. Now, the DSN AI Plus Club for schools is for children. You're in a school, how you have the robotics classes and there are all these after-school activities. How do you target those children? How do you give them those learnings that they want? That's why we created the AI Plus Club for schools, where we also donate some books. And now you can see us, we're going all across Nigeria, delivering learning content, delivering learning experiences completely free to these people all across the world. So please, next slide, you can see, I'm sure you're just seeing the pictures of what these people are doing, the impact that we are making all across the world. Please keep going. You see these people, they are learning and all these things completely free. Now, we also have a target group for the executives. You're a C-level executive, you're a business leader. The way I'm going to teach introduction to Python and machine learning is different from how I'm going to teach you about what AI can do for your business. I don't expect you to be learning Hello World when you're working 9 to 5. So we have target professionals in industry that come together that say, oh, you are an executive. This is what AI can do for your business. This is what data can do for your business. Because now they have the access, they understand. If they have a clear understanding of what it can really do, then they have the impact. We can generate the impact that we want. Now, like I mentioned before, we have AI startups who are supporting. And this is our last cohort of AI incubation participants. I'm sure you can just go to the link and just check. It's datasciencenigeria.org/AI startups. Just check, make sure you keep in touch to know when the next cohort is going to be ongoing. Next slide, please. So I'm seeing a question here asking, how do I ascertain I'm a member? So there is actually a bot you can use. So I'm sure my colleague can also drop that in the chat. Oh, you've registered somewhere before, you just want to confirm, there's a bot you can easily go to just check to see your email, if your email aligns with an AI Plus ID. Now, the spot on logic, what does spot on do? Spot on is one of the products that we developed here in-house. So this is another place for you to put your hands together for what we're doing here at DSN. So spot on, what does spot on do? Spot on creates a solution for every informal business. The vulcanizer on the road, the woman selling pepper. Do you understand? All those people, how can we bring data science to them? You understand? So what we do is we create a 4-pronged solution that makes them findable, reviewable, promotable, and digitized for each transaction. So the vulcanizer on my street, how do I put it together? Do you understand? Like, how do I know that, oh, this vulcanizer that is here, I can easily access him? How can I promote him that, oh, he does good work? Or he's not doing very well, how can I make all these payments? That's where the spot on comes in. And what we do is we create a unique addressing system based on coordinates. So it's not just the Google map that doesn't have all those small places that are unbanked or all those small places that are unmapped. Your junction, is your junction mapped? Or the vulcanizer beside your house, is it mapped? All those things, that's one of the things that we do. We create a reviewable platform that works for basic feature phones, because these people don't have high-end phones. They don't have the iPhones, they don't have the high-end Androids. They create those solutions, and you understand, like, so how do we put all those together? So you can download Spot On. I think it's available on the Google Play Store. So if you want to see how it really works, download it, become a part of the community. You can even join a beta testing project. Thank you so much for your time. That's all for today. So I'll be handing over to Chinazo to introduce our speaker for today.
Fantastic stuff. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic stuff from Toby. And I'm sure you guys heard all the amazing stuff we do at DSN. I mean, that is companies reach out to us, organizations reach out to us to partner with them because we have the capacity. That is actually why we are doing what we are doing today. The reason why we are here working on a solution in partnership with Meta, formerly called Facebook, is because they've seen our capacity, what we have been doing, what we do in terms of community, in terms of partnership, and in terms of building products. Thank you, Toby, for an excellent delivery. So now we will move on to the speaker of today. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay, so our speaker is a data scientist and artificial intelligence product owner. Currently supports multiple projects as an executive product leader at Data Scientist Network. He had more than 20 years of experience of drawing insights from very large data sets as an earth scientist, stress modeler, and well site geologist at Chevron Nigeria Limited. He received the Global Reservoir Management Excellence Award in reducing geologic non-productive time to 67%, with a total cost saving of $24 million in the Chevron the partnership Chevron NNPC partnership project Cheetah drilling campaigns. Mr. Noel is a trained geophysicist and is a graduate of the Harvard Business School. Please jam your hands together as we welcome Mr. Noel Abdullahi. So he'll be speaking to us on best practices to win a hackathon, especially this one that $10,000 is at stake. So let's sit down and enjoy all the juicy details he'll be sharing with us. Welcome, Mr. Noel.
Thank you, Chinazo. Can I share my slides now?
Yes. Let me confirm that. Okay, I'll just stop sharing and then you can go ahead and share.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Say evening.
Okay. Yes, evening.
Evening, everyone. Sorry, let me just get to my screen. So I want to welcome you all to this presentation, and just let me know once you can see my presentation on your screen.
Yes, it's up. Maybe you want to put it in presentation mode. Exactly. You're good.
This is movable, right? So I can draw this down. All right. Okay, so
you can just use your button, the next arrow to move to the next slide.
Okay. All right. So if you know you want to win the $10,000, I want to see your chat in the chat box. Just type 10,000. You know you want, you want to be in that winning team. I want to see $10,000 buzzing out in the chat box. Okay, Toby, I can see you. Yeah, Ayo. Okay. So everybody here is aiming for the prize, right? And it is doable, it is achievable. And why I'm here today is basically to just share some tips with us on how to organize ourselves in a hackathon, because everything about a hackathon is more of how you strategize and how you plan. You can have the best idea, but if you don't, strategize on how you're going to win that prize, at the end of the day, the person with the best strategy wins. And so just be sharing a few tips with us on that, so that we can just glean some wisdom. And I hope that we are all, assembling our team together and doing all the necessary preparations before the main event. So the slide you are seeing was me. That was the first hackathon I attended, a couple of years ago. And it was organized by my team then. It was called Applied Research and Technology Services. And those are my teammates. I was the lead for the team. It's called Team Diamond. And we came up as the first runner-up. Even though we didn't win, the way it was designed was that the best two projects would win, the management was going to invest money to scale it up and implement it and develop it. And I think we were the second, so we were able to make the numbers. So it was just for about 5 days. In that 5 days, we learned about 3 applications, and then we just used 2 days to develop our solution. So you can imagine how intensive it was. I think DSN has done a great job and giving you people soft landing with all the immersions I've been seeing in the last couple of weeks, trying to even prepare you way ahead. So you have no excuse not to deliver on this. So basically that was the solution. So and part of the secret of winning was more of having the right strategy. So we actually developed a low-code solution to help in project management. And the first and foremost thing you want to really do in a thing like a hackathon is basically to really define the problem you are trying to solve. I say that if you are able to clearly, in very simple terms, define the problem you are trying to solve, I think you have done close to 80% of the job. So most of the job is that ability to define the problem you're trying to solve. And it's not as easy as it sounds, and when I say define the problem, I'm not saying write a paragraph. I'm saying do a 1 or 2 lines. You can see a couple of startups that were able to raise money and how they define their problems. I just brought these samples for us to see. This was extracted from bubble.com, and some of these companies like Dividend, the problem they were just trying to solve was clean energy, offers clean energy home financing, just very, very, very succinct. And they were able to raise about $265 million in venture funding. And then we had the likes of Teal. This tracks and organizes job search. That's the problem that we're just trying to solve. You can see how simple, straightforward it is. And they were able to raise $5 million in venture funding. So it's very important that we have these brainstorming sessions where we try to define the problem we're trying to solve. Once that is done, then you want to go to work on that. And so this also is something we need to have. We need to have a vision of success. The vision of success is what you are expecting to see, the product you're expecting to see at the end of the hackathon, what you are trying to create, and it doesn't have to be too fanciful. Now, to the left was what we used to use before for our project management, just basically spreadsheets and all that. But we're able to develop a framework, a dynamic dashboard, and also with Autoflow, we're able to, with that, automate a lot of things like notifying people on their deliverables and the deadlines. And we wanted to move this thing because before you just could not access this thing except you are logged into the system. But we now said, okay, no, for efficiency, let's move it in such a way that people can access all these things on or do their updates on their mobile phones and on their tablets. That's why you see on the right, that was what we wanted to see. And you can see how we just created that dashboard, all integrated, Autoflow, Flow, Power BI, and what's the other third application again? I can't remember the name now. So we just, okay, and they call it Power App, we're able to put it all together and came up with this, what we wanted to see. And so something like this, it doesn't have to be like this. You can just even take a sheet of paper or a cardboard and design what is available, what is obtainable, what you want to improve on, because developing a product sometimes is just an enhancement, it's just an improvement on what exists, not that you necessarily have to create something brand new, but just what is missing that, you plug into that thing and it makes the thing, something super. So that was the kind of thing we did here. It wasn't something so spectacular, but it was something that, was helpful to the team, for us as team members, and it was also helpful to our management. So if the MD is calling our GM, what's the status of things, he just pulls up his phone and is able to talk on the go. And for the kind of company we were running then, you always need to be on top of your game. So it just has to be, something this simple. So if you have a sheet of paper, just have where you are, and then you can have an imagination of where you want to be. And there is this site. I don't know if I will be able to access it now that I'm on full presentation mode. If you, as many of you can, type it down. It's called bubble.com. I did a demo this morning in about 5 minutes. I created a dashboard and put it. I'd done a UI UX design, for a product in just 5 to 10 minutes, and everybody could see it. I don't know, maybe if after my presentation this time I could just show us. But there are all those tools are there, low-code solutions, where even before you start all the back-end job, you would have done a lot on the front end. You can have a picture of what you want to see way ahead of the time, So those are the kind of things I think that we should be doing now. It will go a long way to help us. The vision, it says write it down, make it plain. It makes it very easy for you to achieve what you want to achieve, and let everybody in the team, be part of this. It helps them to really grasp where we're going, and it makes it easy for them to be able to make the kind of contributions that we want them to make. All right, so I saw the wonderful accomplishments by DSN, in the last presentation, and that is really commendable. They've made great impact, especially in the area of research. And I know that part of the next phase of the evolution of DSN is to build products that are commercially viable. I tell people, if you can just note this down, innovation is product multiplied by commercialization. Now, if you are building a product and you're not commercializing it, you are not innovating. And DSN is an innovative company, and we want all those who are, participating in this hackathon to have that innovation mindset. That means that, you want to build something that is scalable. It's scalable because you have done your research to know that, oh, this thing is a problem to so many people. So from the onset, don't look at this as a project. I was reading an article, some time ago, and it's documented that MIT, gets about 900 of their graduates out into entrepreneurship every year, building amazing products. If you want to see most of the people building products, that's the kind of numbers you are seeing. When the average other university in the US, like Harvard, usually just graduates about 40 to 30 of their graduates go into entrepreneurship. So you can see the margin very wide, and that is because the MIT curriculum is really designed for them to think of products, and they have that entrepreneurial mindset, So I want to believe that it's something that we can leverage on, and entrepreneurship is really integrated into their curriculum. So when you're building a product is not a project. Yeah, you can do a fantastic project, but it's not a product. If it cannot scale, if we cannot duplicate it, then what you have is a project. And I want to believe that what we want to do is something that is scalable, and there are steps to making that happen. Okay, so once you're able to turn a project, sometimes it starts as a project but ends up like a product. I think that was the story of Spot On. It started like a project, but it now has become a product. And once it becomes a product, it becomes scalable. Then you have a company, and that's really the goal, of the kind of things we want to see, in the products that a lot of you who are participating in this hackathon are going to be working on. We want to see you come up with scalable products, so that after the hackathon, we continue to work on it. And of course, we should be able to commercialize 1 or 2 of them. And that's what we're looking at having. So beyond just winning the immediate $10,000, you could actually go on and build one of the African unicorns, with whatever it is that you are doing here. Being in this hackathon is a great opportunity of hands-on learning, within a very short period of time. And I commend all of you who, took the boldness and the initiative to be part of this. So, and there are essential skills which, whether within in the hackathon here or outside the hackathon, that you will need, for product development. There are a lot of wonderful product development courses in Udacity. There's what they call the growth product development course. As many of you that can, buy that course and do it, it will go a long way and really give you the insights of what is really needed, when you say you want to build a product. It is a lot. It's not just about having the idea. It's not just about knowing how to code. It's a lot. And majorly, what will make you is build a successful product is your ability to think critically and your ability to communicate. So these skills increase your chance of success, of hitting that, of getting that $10,000 that is up for grabs. So I need you people to pay attention to this. I know a lot of the training you have received so far, a lot of them have been very technical, Rasta and all the kind of stuff, here, Mr. Weary teaching you, and Patrick, very technical, but you need to, for winning this hackathon, that's like a very good foundation, but you need to be able to think critically and you need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to ask the right questions, which leads me to the next slide that we're going to be looking at. Sorry. Okay. So, sorry. So let me just conclude on product and just pause I'll continue the issue of critical thinking in the next slide. Okay, so in building a product, the foundation of any product is data. If you don't understand your data, you cannot build product. Product is built on your ability to understand your data, what your data is saying, and then from there, you now develop ideas. So there's a loop called the build, measure, learn, feedback loop, which are things you're going to be applying. And I know that some of the trainings you've done, you have access to data already. Make sure you understand those data. Make sure you're able to see how those data communicate with one another. And above all, be able to translate that data from knowledge to insights. And by the time you start getting the insights will tell you, where there is a market, where there is opportunity. And then you want to not just build. Yeah, you can build. Anybody can build anything, but you want to build something that there is a market for. That's the kind of mindset I want us to have. So it's not just about building. We want to build something that there is a market for. And really, in terms of using Geospatial for health mobility tracking, I think COVID has already shown that it's something that there is a big market for. If we can be able to just hit that hammer at the right spot, I think commercializing products like this would be something that is very doable and something that is very possible. So your own hackathon, has you've been narrowed down to an idea. I think some work has been done that, look, this is something. This is like a jackpot. This is something that has ability to scale. So a lot of work I think has been done. So it's just for us to see how we're able to beat around this data and look at it together, understand it, and generate ideas that can help us to build the kind of products we want. Of course, we're not expecting you to do that, build an extremely fantastic product. In this hackathon, the goal should just be for you to build what we call an MVP, the minimum viable product. And that's where things like critical thinking comes in. The minimum viable product is, if I want to build a car, I want to ask myself, okay, if I want to build a car, what does a car do? A car moves people from one place to another, right? And so that's what a car is supposed to do. So you see, so my solution is I want to build a solution that moves people from one place to the other. Now, the car is the end goal, right? But if they say, okay, do something today is this is 409, for instance, do something before the end of today, something that can move people from one place to another. I can't do that in one day. I can't even do I don't think, I mean, I don't know how long it takes. I know it's not something that can be done so quickly, So the first thing I want to do is to build maybe a skateboard. I think it is possible to build a skateboard, within a day or two. That's just what, so that you already, you have something that is doing it, even though it's not perfect. You have created an engine, and from there you are learning, and really, that's really the agile mindset. You want to fail fast, So let's avoid perfectionism. What we want is that what is what you can do within the time frame you are given. In one day, what can you do? You can put sticks together, put tires on it, and it can show traction that, oh, okay, yeah, this thing can move, but it can only move me for just a very short distance. And then from there, people will take up that idea. Every idea you see today, the moving vehicle, this is where it started from. Then people will take up that idea and keep fine-tuning, and over the years, it will come up with something perfect. So avoid perfectionism and do good critical thinking. Like I said, what you just need is that minimum viable product, but a lot of thought has to go into it. You want to ask, I tell people, if you want to think, if I say, let's think, you don't think by just, oh, I'm thinking. No, you think by questioning your mind. You think by asking questions. So critical thinking is something that is initiated as we ask the right questions. And you keep hearing me saying this, ask the right questions, because that is very critical, And so in your teams, you need to have at least who, what, why, the three W's. Every time you're thinking of your product, who is this thing going to benefit? Okay, whose market does this product we are building spoils? Because sometimes the product you are building is spoiling somebody else's market. Uber came and, the yellow cabs, it also became a problem to them. So you need to give all the thoughts, all those scenarios, you need to put them together. So usually it's always good. You have, I don't know how the setup would be, but you have places where these questions, you have them there. Who, this thing we are building, who is it for? Because it will help you to be able to ensure that you build something that is addressing, the need of a very large group of people. Because if the people are not large enough, you can't scale, right? So those are questions you want to ask. What the next thing is, what are the strengths of this? Like I was talking of the MVP. Yes, we have something that can move, but it can move you if rain starts falling. Rain is going to beat you. You must be able to state all these things clearly when you're making your presentations of your MVP. And these are the limitations. So those now be captured as areas that can be worked upon and areas that can be improved. And then the other thing is, you want to know, okay, what other alternatives are there aside this? These are things you want to think about, so that you don't get there and, some of the, I don't know if you have judges just say something, why didn't we think of it? But if you thought of it and you put it in your presentation, it puts you at advantage. That means you have done critical thinking. When you do critical thinking, it will help you to preempt. So you may want to put yourself in the position of a judge, maybe group yourselves into, okay, I'm going to judge you guys, make this presentation. And you want to do that, you want to probe all the things that you have done. It's written somewhere in scripture. It says, judge yourself and you'll not be judged by others, right? So you need to do that work, drive this thing in and ensure that the message is passed across very well. When you talk, people know that you have given thought to what you are doing. And like they said, good thinking, and you see a good product, it's the summary of people who have taken time to think. I don't know how many of you guys are going to be in teams, but I know that putting all your knowledge together, there is no how you're going to come out with something fantastic, all right? So, of course, the other question is what I've already, I mentioned earlier, which is the question of why is this a problem? Why is this a challenge? Okay, and why will people want to buy? You must always consider that. Why will people want to buy this? So those are the kind of questions that will stir up, the ideas that will help you to build a good product. And remember, I was telling you people that innovation is commercialization multiplied by invention. So if you put that innovation definitely will lead to us having products. Okay, so that's fine. So this is a video that I think it's online. I don't know how many of us have seen it. I'm going to play it for briefly, and I just want the participants to respond to see how can this be done better. You know, you watch the video. I don't want to talk about the video, and then let me get your thoughts in the chat box. This is really about communication amongst team members, because if the team members are not communicating effectively, no matter how fantastic the idea is, the output will not be good, because many times the person that has the idea is not the person that is going to implement. You understand? So it's very important that we set up proper communication channels to ensure that what we have in our head is what is being communicated. It's what comes to reality. So I'll just play this video, and then I want to just get a response from us. Maybe in the next, we'll just do this little exercise so that the teams can begin to organize their communication strategy. You know, how they're going to be working as a team during the course of the hackathon. Sorry. All right, so that was we had the business analyst, we had the coder, and then we had the developer, and at the end of the day, sorry, I don't want to use the word for that, but brilliant idea, but it was not properly implemented. So yes, I can see Ayo says wrong communication influence wrong product. Thank you. Excellent. Yes, any other ideas from this? So these are things you want to, okay, so what are you people going to do to ensure, what could these guys have done differently? I'm just thinking, it's just something to stir our minds and curiosity. I don't want to just reel out answers to you, but what do you think this team would have done differently to have been able to effectively put their ideas together and come up, you know, in one with something that what they had in their head was what they ended up implementing. Yes, any takers on that? I'm just thinking, what if these guys just had one paper? You know, they were not even facing each other, you know, they were backing each other, and you know, what could have been different? Yes, so okay, they said I should start rounding up. Whoa, okay. How many minutes do I have? Ineffective communication. So as a team, you know, we need to communicate effectively, you know, in this hackathon. Let's move quickly now so that I get to the meat of this. So it's possible for you to build your MVP quickly. And this is something we've done before now. When I had this running a startup, you know, some time ago, and were able to design their MVP. They were trained the same day and they came up with it. We use something known as bubble.com. As many of you who can, you can actually go there. I can't do any simulation today because my time is already running out. But with bubble.com and the other low-code platforms where you can prototype quickly and see exactly what you want to build. And with that, whether before you do any back-end development, you have a clear picture, a vision of success of what you want to see. So next slide. Right. So these are just, this is like the core of why we're having this meeting. You know, you need to come with a can-do spirit. A can-do spirit meaning that you believe that you're going to win this hackathon. yes, we can. It's one of the values of DSN, the can-do spirit. So you need to have that mindset and be hungry to win. Be clear on your motive for attending the hackathon. Be hungry to win. Plan and prepare for the hackathon in advance, which I know a couple of you are already doing. And then you need to start setting up your templates and all the components that can help you build prototypes fast, which there are some of them I've already shared with you. And you need to do your research and go through, simple applications, maybe things that have been done, around this space, and see how it works. Maybe you may just want to improve on what's already existing. And luckily for you, the theme has already been given to you in advance, and you people should find good time to do brainstorming so that you have practical ideas that can be implemented fast. Everything has to be fast. Okay, form your team and leverage on know each other's strengths, know who is good at what, who is good at sketching, who is good at translating, who is good at writing, and then you assign those responsibilities to those people. And you need to always have a leader. You should always have a leader who gives direction on how things should flow through. And of course, all your ideas, it's very important that you think through your ideas. Focus on the main problem statement. Who is the end user? What is your hypothesis? What problem are you trying to solve for them? Those are things that you need to think through, which we've talked about when it comes to critical thinking. And consider the time involved in executing the ideas. Of course, you don't have so much time. So you want to pick only those features, right, that you can build within 24 hours. And with a clear product vision, you can create a rough prototype, like I said, just on paper, So validate all your concepts, use data as much as possible, inferential statistics, not just talk, because whatever you sing, whatever you're doing, you have to back it up with points. And then your focus should be on building an MVP. And I've tried to describe what an MVP is. And of course, last but not the least, the second to the last thing is for you to invest time for the presentation, because I believe this is going to be presented. Get your presentations together and practice your presentation amongst yourself even before you go and present to the panelists. If you do that, it will go a long way to help you. Let some people act as the judge and all that. And then, of course, you need to know the kind of people you are presenting to. That would help you to frame your presentation properly. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think my time, as I was telling you, my time is up. If it's not up, let me know. But if it's up, I think if we stop here, this is a comfortable place for us to stop. Yeah. So for bubble.com, somebody is asking whether there will be. If you go to bubble.com, it's friendly. It's easy to use. It's easy to use. And if you have any issues, they have videos and stuff that can help you. Yeah. Learn at your own pace. Yes. Thank you, Abel. So is my time up now, or can I still continue?
Yes.
It's up, right? Okay.
Yes,
To stop here, I think we're good. At least anyone who has listened to this will have a very good idea of what to do. So thank you, and I wish you all success in your hackathon. And when you win your $10,000, remember me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Noel, for that fantastic presentation. I hope everyone in this event actually have taken out one or two things from this very insightful presentation. And I hope we wrote down some things that will help us, because it's not just to write $10,000 US. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to build a winning solution. Okay, so I will share back my screen and then we can move on to the next thing. So like I explained, the flow of events. Now we have the presentation by our speaker, which is a very fantastic ideas that he has shared with us. So it's easy for us to adopt this thing. So I actually like the part where he mentioned define your objective. So if I have to repeat again the hackathon objective, so the objective is to localize, strengthen, and support the use of privacy preserving, open source mobility and geospatial data to proactively build solutions that address health problems in our communities. So what we're saying in essence is we use this data because data do not lie. Data is an outcome of activities that people do. It's not manufactured, it's the real thing that you do. So we're just trying to get insights from the data. So use this mobility and geospatial data to build health solutions. We don't need to invent a space rocket or something, extraordinary. We need to look around our environment, our community. What is that pressing need? It could be a very simple solution delivered in a powerful way, like Mr. Noel said. It doesn't need to be complicated. So we have samples of use cases, examples of use cases that can, inspire you to want to build a solution. For example, we have one that is talking about designing medical emergency response for school children. You could, maybe the schools in your area do not have any emergency response in place for when there's an emergency. So maybe they have to rush the kid to the hospital. There is no way to, for the health arm of the community to respond to medical emergency, especially for children. So do you want to build that solution? Do you want to build a road network solution that could make it easily accessible for them to respond? So these are the simple things you can pick up from your community. We also have, for example, this one is interesting because it's for women. The third one, which says improved access to healthcare services for women and girls living in poverty. Do you think, because the thing with women in girls living in poverty, for example, the ones going through puberty, they have to use sanitary towels. And if they're living in poverty, they hardly even feed. How can they afford these things? So do you want to build a solution for them, that gives them free access to some of this healthcare? So these are the things to inspire. You could even be about waste disposal in your community. If you feel the waste disposal system in your community is not well managed, you could build a solution around it. If you feel it generates, it leads to diseases and all that, you could build a solution around it. So think about how to improve your community. And then, so that's just to add to what Mr. Noel has said. So I will remind us of the timeline of events again. So the ones in green are the actions that have been taken or the activities along our timeline that have been completed. So we have the Masterclass kickoff, which led to the learning classes, learning how to use mobility and geospatial data to build solutions. So that has been done as well. The classes is still ongoing. The last week for this class will be next week. Registration, so we graciously let the registration link to still be open for people who still want to join the last week of the class. So that is still ongoing in case you want to join. And then we have the hackathon kickoff, which is today. So now the link to register for the hackathon is now officially open. So my colleagues will drop those links in the chat window. If you want to register in French, you can see the link for French. If you want to register in English, so you can start your registration. So I'll talk about the hackathon rules and guidelines subsequently. Now the solution submission, so we have a few changes to this timeline. Now the solution submission deadline is on the 22nd of December. So this gives you at least 3 weeks to build your solution. Even if you haven't even started learning, you can still catch up with the videos that we've used to teach in the past, and you can start building your solution. And then for the grand finale and award giving, so this will take place in January. So this will give us a lot of time to review all your wonderful solutions across the 4 countries, get independent reviewers to look at it, have the semi-finalists present. So all this will take place on the 13th of January. But more importantly, these are our housekeeping rules. So this will help you be up to date with all the going-ons, so that it's not after this session you just go away and then you don't know, you're cut away from the information. So first is the class registration close. Oh, sorry. So it was supposed to close on the 30th, but it's still ongoing. So don't be discouraged. Someone was saying in the Telegram group that, their friends were unable to register. This has changed. You can continue registering now. The link is now available. Now join the Telegram group. If you're on the Telegram group, you will get first-hand information. You ask your questions, we respond to you. All the technical challenges we're using Africa Geoportal is treated. So it's important to join the Telegram group to get up-to-date information. Expect our emails. We send out emails to give you all the information about what's going on when there is an issue, when, any information at all. So please expect our emails. And then for the Africa Geoportal, visit africageoportal.com and register. So this is strictly for the learning purposes. We use it to teach because the portal or the platform has a fantastic feature to learn and to build easy solution. You can quickly build, you can build quick solutions. It has a lot of applications that you can use to build your web portals, web apps, easy solutions on the go, drag and drop tools you can use to build easy solutions on the go. That's why we're using it. And then this platform is actually designed for Africans, and this competition is targeted at building solutions for Africans. So it's the perfect match. So, and then we have a group. The essence of this group is when you join the group, you have access to all the data sets that will help you build the solution. We've gone through the pain to download all these data sets. They are in different sizes, different formats, CSV, vector, raster. We uploaded all of them for your convenience. So when you join the group, it's easy for you to access them and build your solution. However, we also provide a list of links to all these data sets, just in case you don't want to use the platform, you want to build your solution outside of the platform. That is also completely fine. You're free to use any tool, any software, any resource that helps you build your solution. But then you need to include the Facebook mobility data and geospatial data in building your solution. All right. So now we move to, so I'll stop sharing my screen now so that I can share, I can move to the project page, and we can, so we can look at a few things on the project page, remind ourselves of some of the rules again. So here we have the hackathon guidelines. So apologies for some of our dates, these will be updated. So for the hackathon guideline, we have our focus, which is use of anonymized Facebook meta mobility data and other geospatial data for social good to support health interventions and outcomes. And then we have our application. So we'll talk about this in the rules of engagement. So for eligibility, you must be resident in one of the 4 African countries. You must be building a solution for Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, and South Africa. So it's important to understand the peculiar problems in these countries and build a solution for them. And then be at least 18 years or have written consent from a parent or legal guardian. So this one, for attend 50% of the training sessions, we will have to scrap it for our participants so that we can accommodate, diverse solutions, unique solutions. We don't want to restrict the solutions to people that attended the classes. So, so we can do that for you, anything for you. And then rules of engagement. So here, like I said, our application forms for the hackathon is now officially open. I'm sure my colleagues are dropping them on the chat window so you can write a few of the forms. So the first rule says each team must consist of 2 to 4 members over the age of 18. So you have an option to apply as a team or as an individual. So if you want to apply as an individual, it means you're working as a solo person. You're building your solution alone. You don't want input from anybody. However, if you're working as a team, you must be between 2 to 4, maximum of 4, minimum of 2. No, you can't even fill in for 5 people. So and personally, I would encourage that you form groups. Like Noel has said, everyone has something to bring in. You can get someone with a domain knowledge in health, maybe a health expert, maybe a health extension worker, medical doctor, a pharmacist, anyone you can get who will bring in that domain knowledge into your solution. You can also get a UI UX who can put a very nice finishing touch to your solution. So anyhow you want to form your team to give you a well-balanced formation to build a solution will be very, very helpful. So I encourage you form teams, form your team, then, have a team name, and then apply as a team. So the second rule says all work related to the hackathon must be submitted online. So there is no physical submission. We'll provide the submission form for you to submit your solution in due time. So that's why it's important for you to join our Telegram groups and also read our emails, so that when the form, when it's time to start, when the form for submission is available, you will get it and you'll be able to submit your solution. We'll also make it available on this project page, so no worries about that. So teams can repurpose an idea they had before the event that will help innovate the problem statement, as long as they do not reuse code from their previous idea. So we don't want a case where you probably have used this solution to win a prize somewhere else and then you're bringing it to this again. No, you can reuse the idea. It's the same idea. You can repurpose it, add some extra features based on the existing situation at the moment. So that is acceptable. Don't lift exactly what a winning solution, a solution you use to win a previous competition for this one. That won't be acceptable. And then we have adding new features to existing projects is allowed. Judges will only consider new functionality introduced or new features added during the hackathon to determine the winners. So add new features to existing projects. So the new feature is what is going to be considered. So how unique is this addition you're bringing to it? How much is it going to help in making your solution stand out? So we have teams can use libraries, frameworks, or open source code in their projects. Whatever gives you an edge to build a winning solution, whatever legal is allowed. Teams are not allowed to make any changes or add new features after submission. Once you've submitted, that's it. We take your very first entry of submission, so you cannot change it. So it's important to think through your submission, write a very powerful story to go with your submission before you make a submission. And then all submissions must be in English. So we understand that we have a French-speaking participants, but in the spirit of fairness, we would have all the submissions made in English. So we have tools. We can recommend tools for you to, convert your story to English. So my colleague can drop that in the chat window. So there's deepl.com where you can write all your stories, and then you can just list them in paragraphs, convert them to English, to explain what you have built in your solution. So that's that for rules of engagement. So we are 7 minutes past 5. Apologies for that. We will just, try to pick up all the information that is necessary. So excuse me. So solution submission requirements here says your solution package should include all the data sets or hyperlinks to the data sets used. So you can include all the hyperlinks or the names of the data set. That will also be acceptable. Your choice solution outputs and a detailed report explaining your solution. So if your solution is as a web interface or a web app, then you have, you can build that and then have an explanation in such a way that, people reviewing it can understand, can reconcile what you've built and the story behind it. So please make your explanation as concise, as straight to the point as possible, so that people understand what you're building. So all the tools, all the things you feel will help the judges understand your solution, please submit all of them. We'll make provisions for that, for you to submit all of them. And then you can either send a detailed report of your solution or make a 90-second video explaining your solution. So if you don't want to write, you rather express your solution in a video, that's also fantastic. So you talk about your solution, what you have built, and then submit as a video other than a detailed report. So depending on your choice of solution deployment, do note to include login access where necessary. So if you've built something with a security code, please include that so that when it's being reviewed, we can assess what you've built. Please remember that. And so for the judging criteria, these are the criteria that the judges will be looking at to rank your solution or to review your solution. So we have relevance. Does it solve any of the identified problems? So you have to identify a problem. You can say, oh, there are schools around you with children under 5 years, and then there is no immediate access in cases of emergency. So you identify the problem, and then when you're building your solution, we can reconcile the two. We can say, okay, this is a problem. Oh, this is the solution you're building for it. So the next point is understandability. Is it easily understood? Like I said, it's better you build something simple something useful and simple. It's not, complication does not make it better. It could, but not always better. So bottom line, please make your solution understandable. Value sensitivity, does it align with the values, ethics, morals of its users? People you're building it for, does it align with their values? And so, for example, you could be building something for a particular religious group. So does it align with their values? So you can't be building something that it won't be acceptable by them. So performance, how well does it solve the problem? How well does your solution solve the problem? Usability, how easy is it to use? Reproducibility, how easy is it to rebuild the solution? Testability, how easy is it to test the solutions or verify modifications? Changeability, how easy is it to modify or improve its functionality? Documentation, is the solution well documented? So it's important that you document what you've built so that, for sustainability, and even if you have a winning solution and the organizing, the organizers want to use your solution and build on it, is it easy? Is it documentation that will help us to pick that up immediately? So all these are available on the project page. My colleagues have dropped the links. Come here, read all the information. So I'll stop sharing this now, and then we can go back to our slide and see what is next on that. So, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so actually we have the question and answer session now. So we'll just pick up your questions and answer them. And that's next on the slide. Okay. Just give me a second to share my screen again. So if your hand is raised, kindly drop your question in the chat window and I will pick it up and address. So I'm sharing the screen of the prizes. So this is a reminder of the prizes at stake. This is to inspire you again. So the first prize is $3,000 US, second prize is 2,000, third prize is 1,000, and then we're going to have best in each country. So aside the top three, we're still going to have best solutions for each country. And then we have artificial intelligence books up for grabs for, up to 7 best solutions after the best 3 and the best in each country. So this is to have, have people participate or win, prizes. And then we have certificate of participation for everyone who will participate. So now I will go back to the chat. So I'll pick up all the questions one by one and address them. So someone says, is the competition going to be in groups or individuals? It's your choice. You want to build the solution alone, you feel you have all it takes to build your solution, fantastic. Apply as an individual and build your solution. Let me be sure I started picking the questions from the top. Okay, so okay, so no link has been dropped. Okay, links have been dropped now. Great achievements. Keep soaring, DSN. Thank you. Okay, how do one ascertain that he or she is already a member of the community? So we've dropped that for you to check your AI membership. So we already have an existing community, like my colleague Toby said. DSN is hinged on 3 pillars: community, partnership, and products. So we have a strong community of learners. We teach, we democratize knowledge. We teach all year round, free knowledge on AI, and all of that. So there is a membership link for that. So even when this hackathon ends, you can continue to learn with the community. Now for this hackathon, because this hackathon has a duration when it will end, for this hackathon, if you want to join the Telegram group, I'm sure it's also, the link has been dropped, so you participate in the event. So whatever be the case, you will see the relevant links. How do I join DSM Men in AI? Okay, so this is funny. Okay, so we do not have DSM Men in AI. What we have, So we have DSN ladies in AI. That's because we're trying to have female representation in the field of artificial intelligence. So the female representation is poor at the moment. So we're trying to improve it, to encourage females to know that they can, be in this field. They have what it takes. So we don't have DSN men in AI, but we have DSN ladies in AI. And that link is also available. So we have, still trying the Africa Geoportal group on Esri. Please help. Okay, so for that, some of us have been making a lot of mistakes in joining that group. So all you need to do is to go to africageoportal.com and sign up. Once you sign up, we have provided the link for you to join the group. So you just click on that link and you land yourself in the group. So it's important to sign up for. So some people use their already existing ArcGIS account and try to, because this Africa Geoportal platform is different from the ArcGIS online platform. So when you try to use your existing account on ArcGIS to join this group on Africa Geoportal platform, it becomes a problem. So you need to sign up on the platform, Africa Geoportal platform, and then click on the link to join the group. I hope this clarifies that we've been having those issues. People think the group has maxed out. No, the group can take up to 512 members. We have 183 at the moment. So there's still a lot of space for people to join. So please follow the instruction so that you will join the group. So I'm trying to pick the next question. So just drop all your questions so that we can, address them now. Is the competition going to be, okay, so I've answered that. So the conference is in English only. Yes, so apologies for that we have the conference in English. So we have plans for our French students so that they can, we have plans in place for them. So let me just leave it at that. That will be communicated via mail. We've been trying our best to send mails to them in French in a way they understand. And I also know that they have a group on WhatsApp where they communicate preferably in French. So that works too. And so we'll drop all our information for our French participants there. So we're not trying to be biased against the English speaking people. So we're trying to be sure that everyone is carried along. For example, our classes have all been in English. So, and some of our French participants are struggling with that. So we're trying to make provisions for them so that they understand, the newbies in the field that are French speakers will understand the basic concepts and can still participate in building a solution. Please, is the hackathon groups and how do we get into the group if it is? Thanks. So you form your own group. The way the form is you already formed your group, then you have a group lead, a team lead, who will be the person to fill the form. So while filling the form, he or she will provide information about themselves as the group team lead, the name of the group, and then information about each member of the group. So it will be the duty of the team lead to form them. So you can, even on the Telegram group, you can have your conversations, form your groups there if you join the Telegram group, or you can form your group outside. You can approach your friends who are in the health sector, who are in government. You can, people that you feel can, make contributions to help you build a rounded solution. You can approach them, form your group, just get all their details, fill up the form, and then you arrange yourselves, meet up somewhere. You can meet virtually, however, helps you to brainstorm ideas and build your solution. So like I said, housekeeping rule, join our Telegram groups, expect our emails, will provide contacts of support or mentors who will be supporting you when you have questions. If, when you think your solution idea is maybe going off track, you could ask them for support. So we'll provide all that information via mail. So you see a list of mentors, you can send the mail to and ask your questions. Okay, so next question. Okay, the team ought to be. Okay, so someone is saying, when are we going to be taught the bubble.com, or should we learn them ourselves? Yes, you will learn them yourself. There are lots of tools you can use to build your solution. We're not restricting you to Africa Geoportal. We're only creating it as a platform for learning. For building your solution, you can even use Google My Map. Whatever helps you build your solution, you can use Excel to build your solution. You can use PowerPoint to put your solution together. anything that helps you build your solution. For those that are more familiar with geospatial analysis, you can use QGIS, you can use Mapbox, any solution. You can use Power BI, any platform at all. The goal is you've seen the judging criteria. How can we understand what you've built? Put an accompanying report to help us understand what you have built. Okay. Where are the problems we are solving? So you will look for the problem within your community. We are not bringing it for you. Look around your community. Okay, so there's a problem. Problems abound. That's why we are here to solve them. Look, you will see a problem. So you are the one that will define your problem, then define the objective. So when you're making your report, it makes sense. You're saying this is the problem. This is why I'm addressing it. Okay, do we have any more questions? How do I get the previous videos? They'll be available via mails. They are all on our YouTube channels. Okay, yes, the videos have also been made available here, so you can just pick them up. Can I choose my teammates and how many people make a team? So I've answered that: 2, minimum of 2, maximum of 4. You can choose your teammates. Agree, provided there's an agreement, you agree to be a team. Each one knows what they're bringing to the table, and then you can, apply. A team okay, I'm from Ethiopia. Does this mean I'm not allowed to participate? So I'm Gabriel. Not that you're not allowed to participate. You can if your solution is for any of these 4 countries. So maybe you're from Ethiopia, but you're living in Kenya, or you're living in Nigeria. Or you have an idea of problems in Kenya, or even from where you are, you can get access. You have access to all the Kenya data sets. So I'm using Kenya for example now. It could be Kenya, it could be Senegal, it could be South Africa, it could be Nigeria. You're building a solution for these 4 countries, not for Ethiopia. So if you build a solution for Ethiopia, it will be disqualified. So if you're from Ethiopia, but you want to build a solution for these 4 countries using their localized data, using their unique problems in health and all that, that's allowed. How are we going to know our groups or teams? So I think I've addressed this question on groups. You can choose people to join your team, looking for your team. Okay, so apologies, run over our time, but I'm trying to answer all our questions to clarify all our concerns. Please, who would join my team? Okay, so that you can do the networking on the Telegram. Just join our Telegram group. We are plenty there, so you just come there and form your team. Which team can I add? Okay, so someone says thought it was 10,000 users. So yes, so when you combine all the prices and even all the costs we've incurred to make this work, it's well over 10K. But in price, we have up to $10,000 when you look at all that we are giving out for our winners, to our winners. What are the requirements to perform well in the hackathon? So please do your research, ideate, build your unique solution, and then also go to our project page to see the judging criteria to make sure that as you're building, is it aligning to, usability, reproducibility, changeability, all of that. So it will help you. When is the deadline for submission? So that'll be 22nd of December. Yeah, thank you. We'll be able to change team members during the hackathon since we are only registering the team. So you have to think about it before you register. So the application is still ongoing. So think about it. If you register, you can't change your team member. So we just know that these are the people you are working with. Please, can you send the link for the group? I don't see. So another thing is you can so to register, it's still ongoing. The form is very much open, so we'll leave it as open. We'll leave it open for as long as possible. So just take your time, basically. So you could fill it at the point of when you must have even built a solution. Then you can fill that. That's fine. Please, can you send the link to the group? Thanks. Please, how do we get the license for the desktop ArcGIS process? So this discussion will take place in the Telegram group. I'm from Senegal. Welcome. Are the training for Geospatial Hackathon powerful for us to build solutions? Of course, they are powerful for you. So it's meant to It's meant to whet your appetite. It's meant to inspire you. It's meant to help you think of a possible solution you can build. So I don't know if that defines your own, what you mean by powerful, but then it helps a whole lot. You could even build a simple map visualization, a heat map, however you want your solution to be. So what we've done for you with the training classes is not exhaustive. You may not want to rely on that alone. You can go to YouTube to further your knowledge, to see, read, just type any keyword, how to do geospatial analysis, how anything at all, you can learn further. So you may not have to depend only on what we have taught you. So I think I've tried to address some of our questions. So please join our Telegram group. We'll answer all your questions. We always answer your questions. So on that note, thank you all once again for joining. It's been fantastic having you on this call. And so I'll call my colleague to give a closing speech for us. My colleague Abel or Oluwaseun Ofini, please take the floor. Thank you. Hello, Abel. Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So it's been an interesting time. Wow, it's been an interesting session. Thanks to Mr. Noel for exposing our hackathon participants to the best practices of building, impactful and winning solutions. And like he mentioned, a whole lot of things there. Don't forget those, practical tips that he has given to us. Plan to win, form a good team, think through your ideas, validate concepts. You need to focus on building an MVP, most especially at this initial stage. Don't think of, you need to perfect everything. Make sure you invest your time also in the team collaboration and then in the presentation. When you're building up towards the final pitch. So you also need to think through how you need to bring enough time to that. And more importantly, know the audience that you're building for. So I think those are very important and critical tips that you need to bring to the table. As you go into building your solutions. You can imagine the numbers of health challenges we face in Africa. Our participants will be spending the next few weeks hacking these health issues and unlocking insights from multiple data sources. You remember we have a lot of data on the Africa Geoportal, and it's important that you exploit it. It also gives you the ArcGIS Pro license, which allows you to build a lot of things, offline and then online. So just use it, utilize those tools that have been given to you. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And special thanks to our speaker once again for the interesting tips and tricks into the best practices of building winning solutions. And thanks also to Esri for their support to ensure easy access to the multiple data that we're able to provide for our participants. And I believe they will be utilizing them through the period of this hackathon on the Africa Geoportal. So more so, we cannot but appreciate Meta, formerly known as Facebook, for the opportunity to empower Africans to make smarter, more informed and data-driven decisions using their mobility data, which they have actually also provided. Guys, it's time to go build the winning solution. Just remember, you can still invite your friends. Don't forget that. You can invite your friends. Registration is open. We'll drop the link for you. We also make it available again on the Telegram platform. And then we also try as much as possible to share via email so you can have access to it again. Just make sure you register. and then also make sure you build your team. Minimum of 2, maximum of 4. Don't forget that. So ensure that you join the Telegram platform if you have not joined. The link to the Telegram group is also in the chat. So make sure you join. Also, make sure you get someone, if you are here to get, maybe, it's best to build with people that have domain knowledge. So just get someone from either the geospatial space, from this environmental sciences space, public health, or maybe pharmaceutical space, or maybe anyone interested in geospatial data that you believe those guys are actually good in the area, in the area that you're trying to address. Just make sure that the team you are building are people that have the capacity and the potential to support the development of your solution so that you're able to have the winning solution in the long run. And remember, our classes continue next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So just make sure that you're part of it. Don't be left out. Make your country proud and join in winning up to $10,000 in prize. Thanks for joining us again today. We are DSN, Data Scientist Network, formerly called Data Science Nigeria. Follow us on our social media and be a part of Africa's foremost artificial intelligence learning, research, consulting, and solution delivery network. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye. Thank you.